If you like the idea of running a profitable property management business, then it's time for us to have a little chat. You see, the truth about bank fees in the property management industry is something that it seems like nobody's talking about. And it's this issue between accuracy and precision in the questions that we ask and therefore the answers that we get. So let me take you back to your childhood for a moment, to our good old Where's Wally pictures. And if I asked you, where's Wally? And you replied with, well, he's on the page, I'd say that is in fact accurate, but maybe a little bit cute in your response. Now, if I put it onto myself to take the responsibility to ask the question with more precision, I'm going to get a different answer. When I ask you, I would like to find where Wally is very quickly, can you explain to me specifically where he is? Now, the response therefore is different. You might say something like, well, he's on the lower third in the middle and he's behind a green and white windbreaker and on the right-hand end, and bang, there's Wally. I get right to the specificity. In fact, that is a precise answer. You see, the questions that we ask often will dictate the outcomes that we get. And I want to share with you a real-world scenario with an agency who found out, they thought that they had no fees whatsoever, and they very quickly uncovered that they had quite a significant amount. I don't know if that's the truth for you, but it's something worthy of checking out. Here's what happened. The principal asked the property manager, are there fees on tenant transactions on the trust account or to the trust account? And they replied back with, we have no fees on our trust account. Great, okay, that's really good news, said the principal. And that's an accurate statement. Principal then went to the trust accountant and said, are there fees on tenant transactions on the trust account? And the response was, we have no fees on our trust account. Okay, that's really good news, said the principal. Once again, accurate. Then principal went, well, I'm going to go deeper on this one. I'm going to the bank manager just to make sure nothing's being missed. Are there fees on the tenant transactions to the trust account? There are no fees on your trust account, said the bank manager. Okay, thanks, that's good news. And feeling really confident here, and yet something felt like it was missing. And the principal then went to the bookkeeper and said, are there fees on tenant transactions to the trust account? And the response was, there are no fees on the trust account. Oh, okay, that's good news. And at this point, the principal thought everything was covered. And then the bookkeeper replied with, all the fees are charged to your general account. Oh my goodness. Right, so there are fees, but what is the quantum? Well, here's the reality. Because in this precise moment, precise response, now we went looking for the real detail. And in this agency, with 650 properties, on average would have 700 transactions per week. Using BPay, where they thought they had no fees at the cost of 85 cents, turns out to be over $30,000 per year. And then there's an extra transaction, which nobody's talking about. And it is the cost of a deposit into the trust account. Every time a transaction or a deposit goes in, so for every rental payment, there is a fee. It often ranges from 15 to 25 cents. And in this particular agency, this adds up to $40,000 per year. You can imagine the shock, the kind of feeling through the body, how sick they felt at this point in time. And then yet in that moment is then going, well, is there a better way? And the answer is that there is. I'm going to share that with you in a moment. But let's just break these down so you know what you're looking for. An electronic funds transfer from a tenant, from their bank account into the trust account, has no fees to the tenant and there is no fee on the trust account. Where the fee occurs is over in your general account, and you'll have something like an incoming transaction fee or deposit fee, or it'll be some other name that it'll be hard to find. And that'll be applied to the general account, usually 15 to 25 cents. Then you've got a BPay transaction. Same thing, no fee to the tenant, no fee on the trust account. It's going to happen over in your general account. BPay is generally 85 cents per transaction, and let's say plus 25 cents for the incoming transaction. That means $1.10. Now, what we found in the previous example was that there could be one household and two tenants in their household both pay. So they split the tenant payment for the rent. And what happens is you're now being charged $2.20 that week. One more example, direct debit. Maybe you're using a bank account direct debit system and you're uploading that file each week. No fee to the tenant, no fee on the trust account. However, there'll be a transaction fee, often around about 65 cents. Plus you've got the incoming 25 cent amount, so around about 90 cents per direct debit. Wow, this starts to add up. Is there a better way? Of course there is. That's why we're here. All right, and we want to take scenarios like this for your agency of over $40,000. We don't want to just squash that to zero. We actually want to see that you could even get $10,000 or more back. Imagine that for a moment. So you're actually in front $50,000 a year. Does that sound like it's worth a conversation? Let's do that, because we've got an options with both set and forget to automatically take care of all these transactions, as well as a pay today option for tenants in New South Wales. And we can squash these costs down to not just zero, but we're going to make it a positive return to you and a positive return to your tenants as well. Here's the play for us at Simple Rent. It's always about considering people. We believe that they deserve to feel like they're winning. We build software that has no cost to you, even no cost in the SMSs. It'll save your property managers more than 2 hours per week. In fact, if they're using Property Me with our new integration, probably 4 hours or more per week. We're actually going to pay you to use Simple Rent. It's quite unique. We've just completely re-engineered the approach. You're going to get one line that'll have all your tenants signing up for direct debit and a set and forget frictionless payment approach. And your tenants are going to get more than a week's worth of rent in return when they take advantage of our Simple Discounts program, where they can make purchases just like they do every day at Woolworths, Dan Murphy's, BWS, Caltex petrol service stations, Priceline pharmacies. In fact, there's 37 national retailers that are in on this scheme with us, and about to be 2,000 restaurants. And we have a new concierge shopping service for white goods that we do all of the negotiations on any types of white goods and computers and anything that you would buy from Harvey Norman, The Good Guys, Better Electrical, JB Hi-Fi. We'll do all the negotiations. It's just insane. We'll give it to you, we'll give it to your tenants, we'll give it to the landlords as a bonus as well. There's more to share that I could possibly fit in a little session like this, so please do look for the link below, reach out, let's have a meeting, let's get into the forensic side of what it's really costing you, and let's get to a real personal side on making a frictionless payment approach and get back into just having more love in all the transactions when it comes to payments in property management. Come on, click the link, let's do it.